Hello guys, welcome back to another major recap. We played the London Major around a week ago in RLCS and we ended up finishing top 8. A little bit of a theme right now in the last few tournaments, in the last few lands, especially for me, of that top 8 spot. Bit annoying, but we're gonna get over it and we're gonna speak about these games, talk about what went well, what went wrong in every single series, and really highlight the key moments of our tournament and just talk about it with you guys real quick. Thank you to everyone who kind of came up to me, supported me throughout this LAN. The support was genuinely insane and I actually do massively appreciate every single time at these LANs that I get to speak to you guys. It's a real pleasure of mine. So yeah, thank you guys. It was a really, really good time getting to meet so many of you. It was insane the amount of people I get to speak to. So yeah, it was a really good time. Now, let's get into it. The first series of the LAN, we play against Team Secret, the South American number 2 seed. We should be beating these guys 3-0 or 3-1 at worst. And we're really confident going into this series because we feel like we're just a better team, okay? Now, they come out hot and we come out a little bit too quiet in the first game. We end up losing that game quite badly, getting over those kind of LAN nerves. We don't look too hot like ourselves, but that's going to be a key theme throughout this video, throughout this tournament, of losing that game 1 at least in the first few series. So we'll speak about that later. It is something that we do have to go over. This is game number 2 and it's overtime, okay? Massive game. We have to score, we have to win. If we don't, we go 2-0 down in the series. A shot there I could have really put on target. I didn't want to put it too soft, tried to land on the backboard and get a recovery, but I really could have put a better shot on target there. But yeah, we should be winning this game. We really do need to, else we're 2-0 down in the series. We're still feeling it out, you know, at this point. It is hard to kind of get used to that LAN setting. You kind of get better and better at each LAN, but no one's really perfect at it. And yeah, this is us trying to kind of find our footing, get used to it. Now, you'll see, first makes a really nice challenge. We get the ball over one guy. First leaves it, I call him off at this point in time to go bump, because in this position, if the first man takes a shot, which is the first killer in this position, it's probably just not as high of a percentage. If he just leaves the ball, goes for a bump, we can take a free shot, and we end up getting the goal off of a nice play from me and first down the other end. We win the following game 1-0, which puts us 2-1 up into the series, and we go on to the last game of the series. We end up winning 3-1. A nice bump from me, a nice play from first, gets us the first goal for ourselves, and then we score a nice double tap to put us up 2-1 in this game, and the rest was fairly comfortable. We do end up conceding here off of just a nice play, honestly, from Secret. Almost got that save, but we make a good counter-attacking play with some passes. They do intercept it, but we get the goal. Puts us up 3-2 in the last game. We do score on 0 seconds as well to finish off this series. And we put ourselves up 1-0 in Swiss, a 3-1. You know, it was fairly comfortable, honestly, from that first, apart from that first and second game, really. Game 3 and 4 was quite comfortable. We do have to work for it a little bit. These guys put up a good showing in the series, but we felt decent going into our next game, which is against Team Vitality, the world champions. So we were confident leading into this match, honestly. You know, the last scrim that we had against Vitality, and it is just scrims, but you do get to feel out how you feel against certain teams, how teams are playing. They usually do translate nowadays in Rocket League, in my opinion. And we felt good. We felt very good against these guys. The last scrim we played, we did well. And yeah, we were feeling confident going into this series. Of course, they are, you know, the world champions still. You do have to respect them. And we try to respect them, and they definitely show us, you know, why we should. In the first 2 games, we end up losing both of them. We actually don't score in this series until the first time we score is 30 seconds in to the last game right here, which shows that we did definitely, you know, go into the series a little bit slow. You know, that's our first goal of the series. And at this point, you know, game 1 was a little bit of a beating. It was 5-0. After we score here, we were getting pressured most of this game, but we did feel confident to close, you know, this game out at least. And we end up just making a couple of, you know, poor decisions here. That dunk is fine. I could have probably gotten the ball past Radisson, but we end up just being a little kind of indecisive in our corner, and we end up just giving a free shot and conceding it and losing this game because of it. And that was definitely annoying. You know, I should have played the ball. I could have played the ball a little quicker. We just lacked a little bit of decisiveness. I think Here, I could have gotten around him. Wasn't the end of the world. And then here, we definitely just have to be a little bit more, aware. And that seems to be a little bit of a theme in, the games we lose in this tournament, just a little bit of lack of decisiveness, lack of urgency, some might say, if that makes sense. So yeah, we end up losing this game, a little bit of a tough loss. And it honestly was a good, turn and kind of rush challenge from Radisson, because from Chronic's perspective, it doesn't look like someone's just going to turn and go for it straight away like this. So a bit tough to read, and we end up losing this game 2-1 and put us down 2-0 in the series, which is a little weird because we feel comfortable. We feel decent. At least I feel pretty good individually. As a team, we were getting pressured and all that, but it wasn't like we were getting destroyed individually, it felt like. We conceded a really bad goal going into game 3, and it feels like we just, nothing's going to happen. Zen gets a touch from this position, which honestly, I didn't expect. I could have actually just hit this ball here and saved it, but again, just lack of decisiveness, and a really poor goal to be conceded from the corner from a position that shouldn't be a goal at all. And you'll see that a few seconds later, we get a nice pass and play from the ceiling over to First. First takes a shot, and we end up missing the open net here, which was this was a little bit of a heartbreaker for me. I was like, here, it does not look like he's getting another touch. I should have waited slightly, but you see kind of the surprise from my car. You'll see that turn left and then realizing after I jump, oh my God, it's gone to the right from his last touch from the bottom of his car, I think here, which was a little bit surprising, that last touch. I should have waited. I really should have scored this. And I was like, nothing is going right. Even if I feel pretty good on the ball, honestly, but nothing is going right for us. Fortunately for us, we do end up scoring around, 30 seconds later. Chronic takes a really nice 50 and First gets the open net. I think Alpha must have, he could have had that on. Honestly, I didn't realize that, but yeah, we get the goal, and I was very, very glad of that. And luckily, I do make a very nice play to kind of, get my confidence back a little bit, make up for that open net. A nice flip set into a shot on the other end for a counter-attack. And I make another nice play, going into the kind of last half of this game. Really good 50 by Chronic. Once again, really nice 50s. 1v1 against them. We go for a double tap and put it past him. And so I make up for it, which was nice to win this game. And we go on to game 4 with a point on the scoreboard, 2-1 in the series. Still losing, but feeling a little bit better about ourselves. We open up game 4 with a nice beat onto Radisson. It was quite a slow challenge from honestly both of us. I went up to this ball quite slowly. Radisson definitely went up to this ball very slowly. So it was quite a funny goal in my eyes. I was like, okay, I'll take this any day. Because I thought I was going to get absolutely dusted to that ball. But yeah, we ended up scoring first. And this game was really just first killer, going pretty much, absolutely off on this game. If we score or if we go ahead to all the goals, you'll see that a lot of it is some really nice plays from First Killer. And he ends up scoring also a really nice flip set right here to send us up 3-1 in this game and to pretty much seal the game going into that last game number 5. And we're feeling good. We're feeling like we really should be taking this game 5. We've got all the momentum. We made it hard on ourselves, starting off this series going 2-0 down, but at least we brought it back. We're feeling really, really good individually. I think everyone was at this point. And yeah, going into game 5, we felt good as a team and that we really should be taking it. Now, game 5 was frustrating. If there's any game I want back in this tournament, it's this one. And game 5 against G2, which we'll get onto. But yeah, if there's any game I want back, it's definitely this one. We end up conceding a goal that shouldn't have happened. We take a really poor 50. This 50 from Chronic we should be put into the corner, and I make a really poor decision as well of pushing up in this moment, which I should have played way more defensive just in case. Just in case I should be playing kind of defensively minded first here, in case it goes wrong, especially in the game 5, 2.5 minutes left. And so a couple of mistakes from me and Chronic end up in a dunk goal in our net, which is sad. to conceding game 5 like that. We're still feeling good. Honestly, we have like a lot of, we have one shot to 4 in this game, but we have a lot of the pressure. And you'll see that for the rest of this game, we do actually have pretty much all the pressure from now on. And we just don't actually, we make a ton of saves there. Maybe I'm wrong, but it felt like we had a ton of, good chances in this game. I think it's more towards kind of this part. Yeah, the ball is like, yeah, we have really good chances, really good looks on net like this one that it just doesn't quite, come for us kind of thing, which isn't, an excuse at all. It's just a, poor finishing touch on the end of some, good offense usually is what happens. And we have a play in the second that is massively disappointing for me in a second, where it's around 10 seconds left here as well. I could have, honestly beat this guy and gone again. I took way too much time here for some reason. I could have beaten this guy and gone again. Chronic, I know he was disappointed with this one. He tries to get a shot. I think he was like a little bit indecisive on wanting to go for a shot or a double. And I remember him speaking, he was quite disappointed about that one. If he gets this bump as well, we get a free shot, which could happen there. So it's just like, none of these are excuses. It's just, we were attacking really well. We just slightly missed that final touch. Same with this. I should be taking way more time here. I try and get a Musty to the top corner, and I just put it wide. And this was a disappointing game because even though, we look at the scoreboards, they have way more shots than us. They have 12 shots to 6. We have, 10 saves to 4 in this game. But it felt like we had a ton of good looks at net, way more than we actually put on target, or way more than we, almost scored from. And we just missed that final touch, which was frustrating. And we end up losing this game in a second. Radisson gets a nice dunk, and we end up losing this game and the series in game number 5. And that we put ourselves at 1-1 in Swiss, which isn't too bad. It's not terrible, but we feel like we could have took this game. Going into our next series against Oxygen, we're feeling really, really confident for this one. Honestly, for every match in this tournament so far, we're going to be feeling confident, okay? And we were playing pretty well, against these guys especially. We were feeling pretty good. Game 1, of course, in true Gen G fashion right now, doesn't go our way. We end up losing game 1 a little bit. Again, it's a series again. Definitely a massive, thing we need to work on. But yeah, we lose game 1. And in this game, number 3, we end up taking game 2 fairly comfortably. Not going to really show that one. We started feeling a little bit more like ourselves. I was hitting my demos, which was a massive thing for us. And we were hitting our solo plays and control, which was good. And game 3, we, for starters, again, we felt good against these guys in scrims. First off, we felt really, really good. Felt confident in what we understood we needed to do was pretty on point, if that makes sense. We knew what they struggled with. We knew how to make them struggle with what we were going to do in particular. And so we felt pretty good. This game 3 was massive. Obviously, I'm going to skip ahead and go to the goals. Game 3 was absolutely huge. If you win this, you're up in the series. You guys all know how that works. And First Killer opens it up with a massive dunk into the net. A little bit of an own goal, honestly, from Archie in this position. This ball should obviously never go in. From there, it's more the fault of the defender. If this is a goal ever, then good play from the attacker. But First gets a really nice block. All that being said, and gives himself the best chance of scoring this. And honestly, he goes into that 50 really well. Kind of angling his car really nice into that one. So yeah, we get the first goal in game 3, and a massive mistake is going to come from me in a second to concede in this game. I don't even want to watch this one back, but you got it. Massively indecisive here, just like a pause in my brain. Something, God knows. It's just a really bad error. I don't boost, don't know why. I got a little maybe scared or nervous for this ball because it's coming quite quick. But yeah, massive error causes us to concede in game 3. And I felt really bad at this point because, my teammates were playing really well in the series. I was honestly playing pretty well as well. I wasn't disappointed with how I was playing, but that goal, if we end up losing this game, it's a big one. And, that changes how well you played in the series, if that makes sense. So yeah, bit disappointing. Chronic has to make a touch here, and he does that really nicely. Chronic played this series really well, especially in defense, I thought. Just getting a lot of good clears and playing really solid, which was nice to see. And yeah, we end up taking this game off of a super nice play straight up from the kickoff. Chronic forces it back right to first killer. We end up getting the bump on the second man, which is a really important bump in this position because it allows basically this guy to just have a free 1v1. There can really be no one challenging this player most of the time. Archie actually does a really, really good job of getting back to this ball and getting a challenge in from this position, which is honestly quite hard to do. But yeah, he does a good job of forcing that. But this bump, really key. First takes a really nice 50, and I turn onto this ball, rotating out, put off the backboards, and Chronic makes a really nice play. In my position, I see him about to get the double tap. I get the bump on the last guy, and we end up taking game 3 off of a super nice double tap from Chronic. And yeah, he played this game in particular really well. And it was a very, very clutch moment, putting us up in the series going into game number 4. We take game 4 comfortably, and we win the series 3-1. And yeah, it was fairly comfortable. You know, first killer, really, really nice. Sorry, not double tap, mercy flip there. And I get the pass over to him when he's rotating out, and instead of shoot him, and we get the goal here to put us up in the series, or put us up in the game, in the final game. And we end up taking a really nice play from first killer again for another goal. He just gets a hard clear, and I just have to basically try and get in the way of the goalie. It's quite funny from my angle because I couldn't see where the goalie was kind of, so I was just trying to jump in case he jumped, trying to airroll into him. I don't end up hitting him, but first gets the rebound because it's pretty much impossible for Joyo to make contact with this ball from zero boost. So yeah, really nice plays from first in this game, especially in offense. And we'll go to the last kind of 30 seconds. Some really nice clutch saves from first and Chronic in particular. We'll watch from my POV because I don't have to do too much in the last 30 seconds here. I'm just watching my teammates make really nice saves over and over again, which is I'm happy to do. I'm glad to do. I get demoed, Chronic gets back, another pretty, obviously easy save from that position, but still really good to get. Insane save from first, and Chronic would have had that too, so really nice defense from them. And at this point, as long as basically I get a block here, the game is done. I just have to cover high, and yeah, the game is done, the series is done, and we take it 3-1. Now, the next series is against G2. We're feeling, once again, confident going into the series because G2 had just come off a really, really bad loss. Honestly, against Falcons, we felt like they wouldn't be confident. We just came off a pretty good win against Oxygen. G2 had, a couple of not easy first rounds, but, first rounds where they didn't get challenged too much. We basically felt like this was their first proper series in the tournament where they would be in the series, because they're going to be playing well, obviously, having the chance to win. But also against a tough opponent, if that makes sense, okay? So we felt good going to the series. We felt like we had a lot of momentum. They take game 1, again, Gen G fashion right now. They take game number 1. We end up winning game 2, 3-0. We go up in game number 3, 1-0 up. We're feeling pretty good. We have a lead in the series. And honestly, we crumbled in that game. We end up losing that 6-2, I think it was, which is a massive, massive loss, unfortunately. And we go into game 4, we take it in overtime, massive key moment. I'm breezing through the series because this one was game 5 overtime. And that's the main thing I'm going to be speaking about in this series. I didn't have a good series in this one. I'll put my hand up and say that every day of the week. Didn't have a good series in this match, unfortunately. Beast Mode in game 5 scores a really nice double tap skim from this position off the sidewall. And it's a massive mistake from me. I really wanted to play as miss, but it's beast mode. He always hits these. I really should be playing the hit here just in case, because I know that Chronic's not back. It's not, he can't get back in this position. That's just a rotation right now. I have to cover the shot. I don't. So a massive mistake from me in game 5. Feeling pretty bad about that one. And of course, an insane shot by beast mode, not trying to take anything away. Incredible mechanics, can't get that one on net, regardless of who's covering it or if it's anyone covering it. And yeah, a huge goal, big mistake by me. And we end up taking, a little bit of a long time to score this goal to get back into the series. Now, Chronic makes a play down the other end, hands it off to first, puts a shot on target. I try and cover, can't really do much, I have to go back. I end up challenging here, getting a nice touch over, pretty much over 2, because Atomic can't really do too much from this position. And we end up getting very, very fortunate here, which I don't think many people saw, but yeah, we get really fortunate. I make a good play, pass 1, but we get so fortunate to get bumped in this position because it allows us to get this double tap. Atomic obviously wasn't jumping for this, for this touch from me. He's jumping for the original just bounce because there's no way I'd have another touch from this position. We get bumped and he obviously can't do anything from that position. Chronic scores the open net. So a very fortunate goal, but obviously a decent play kind of down the line from us. And we end up getting that first goal of the game 5 for us and tying it up. I really thought we'd scored here. This ball, I thought was over him at this point, so I jumped just in case obviously Beast Mode didn't touch that. We'd have basically an open net. And we don't end up getting it, which was annoying because I really thought we had it there. And going into the last 5 seconds of this game, one of my teammates is dead, the other has 0 boost. We just have to force it round 1 and buy a little bit of time for them, try and get some nice 50. And we're just trying to drop this right now to force game 5 or to force overtime. And so is Beast Mode in this position. He's not really, I think he half tried, but he wasn't too concerned in keeping that ball up. Now, game 5 overtime. Right here, I was like, series over. Right, obviously thinking super quickly, but here I was like, oh my God, we can just score here. Almost sniped it, but don't quite. Really hard. Honestly, Atomic would have been back actually. But I did thought I scored right before that. So I get a lot of goals from that position usually. So yeah, anyway, game 5 overtime. It's obviously a lot of nerves, but you're not really feeling it, honestly, in these positions, I don't think, or at least I don't really feel the nerves in these kind of moments, game 5 overtimes, because you've done most of the series kind of thing. So you've got I know it sounds stupid, but it's just another minute of Rock League, if that makes sense. We get a little bit fortunate there, obviously not crazy fortunate, but it can happen a lot in this position. But we end up getting a little bit of a bump into Beast Mode for the clear. And we pushed down the other end. This position, I really thought we were about to score. And free shot for first kill up. I think Beast Mode would have had it saved if it was on target. So I was like, oh, almost. We almost had that one. We had some good looks on that, and we'll have another one in a second. We had a lot of pressure in this one. I felt like we could have made something from this. And, in the seconds, I'll skip ahead in the seconds here. We'll force the ball out in this position from the corner. Let them kind of 50 it out for a free shot. Try and bump the one guy. We do actually hit him kind of off his track a little bit. Don't know if I actually touched him. I don't want to have a look really, really quickly. Don't know if I actually made a difference, but yeah, we tried to hit one. Free shot for Chronic, and Atomic makes a really nice save. And so yeah, another kind of part where I thought we scored. A little bit of a loose touch from me. Really should have made something more of that ball, free ball, and 100 boosts in our corner. So yeah, could have made something more from that. And we end up conceding in a second, which is disappointing. We'll skip ahead a little bit. I pushed down to the corner, obviously just trying to force something to happen. A poor second man challenge from us here. And we end up leaving our last man, and it is a really nice play again. We make 2 mistakes, 2 pretty big mistakes that should have been avoided for these 2 goals in this game. But G2 converted really well, and they win the tournament, of course. You guys all know that, and they clearly are converting well on the chances that they are given. So it's, nothing taken away from them. A fantastic shot from Atomic off the pass of a good pass off Beast Mode. We end up losing game 5 overtime. Bit of an annoying one because we just want to be done with the day at this point, honestly. I hope that's not, saying anything too bad. We do want to be done with the day at this point. It would be nice to just be through Swiss 3-1, but we have to play in round 5 against Team Power. We 3-0 them. I'm not going to speak about that series. They played really badly. I barely did anything in that series. First thing, Chronic just, Power did play well. They're going to want to have that series back, honestly. So I'm not going to speak about it kind of in respect to them because we got given a free series in that one. and we end up taking it 3-0. So it was a good conversion from us, but we should be winning that, and we do. We go into the quarterfinals the following day against Falcons. These guys look insane. Really nice beat from Wes. Poor from me to get beat in this position, but it is good speed from him for this goal. We end up taking the first game in the series, which is a little different. We do end up obviously taking the first game against Power because that was a sweep, but we end up taking the first game against Falcons pretty comfortably. We felt good. We felt confident. Honestly, our energy wasn't fully there today for some reason, so that's a fault of ours. I thought that was open. Just slightly, but yeah. So yeah, energy wasn't fully there. We do end up taking the first game, and we get kind of destroyed the rest of the series. They played really well. We didn't play well. We played pretty badly individually, all of us. None of us were controlling the ball. Our calls were slightly off. Our comms were off. We just weren't playing as a team. We weren't playing decisively. We were playing too quick, but also too defensive. It was a bit of a mess from us in this series. And it was a really good series by Falcons. They looked really good. These guys were fantastic in the scrims. We struggled against them in scrims. I think everyone struggled against them in scrims from what I know. They were absolutely insane. So going into this series, we're obviously confident, but we knew that we were going to be up against a really tough opponent, and they showed it. They played this series incredibly in terms of their third man positioning mainly. If you're going to look at one thing from this series, you want to look at basically that they will never let a ball go past them. They're always in the right position to be blocking everything that comes over the midfield line. That doesn't mean that they're really far pushed up. They're just basically in the perfect position every time as third man. You'll notice it in any single point you kind of rewind or fast forward in this game, in this series. In every single point, you'll see that their third man is always covering the correct spot every single time, pretty much. They're really confident individually. Their passing was so on. And yeah, they seemed to be making all the right decisions, and we weren't covering the passing lanes, which is, poor from us, uncharacteristic. We kind of let them pass and stuff like that. And I was pushing up too much to get boosts. I was trying to make something happen, and it was the wrong decisions. And yeah, we were trying to make something happen, but it wasn't the correct plays in the correct moments, if that makes sense. I was trying to hit the demos, but just slightly off on where I was going with my car. And yeah, nothing felt good this series, which was sad to end the tournament on this note. And it, Falcons completely deserved the win. I just felt like we didn't get into the series, which is annoying. And I'm just going to show the last closing moments of our tournament. And it's a really nice play. Honestly, most of their goals they've scored are genuinely nice plays. TRK does his basically signature shot where he takes a flip set, lets the ball bounce, and then puts the last defender in a really awkward position. You'll see from my perspective that this is so hard to defend because you're having to cover so many different kind of possibilities, and it's a tough goal to concede because it's a very nice goal for them, and it's an awkward one for you, which never feels good. And we end up pretty much losing the rest of the game basically on the back foot. We didn't have good pressure in this game at all, in this series even. No real pressure. There's a lot to take away from this tournament. I'm taking mostly positives away from this tournament, honestly, which, sounds like you can be coping and stuff, but you've got to take positives away. And I am. We didn't play badly by any means. We played badly in this quarterfinal. All the other series we lost, the two other series we lost, we took it to game 5. It was a close series. We struggled in the closing moments, but honestly, we played pretty well individually, everyone, and we played okay as a team. And there are positives to take into Worlds, which is the main focus. Guys, that is pretty much it. Why we lost in this tournament. There wasn't too much going to explain in the Falcon series. I apologize. We just didn't play well individually and as a team. There's going to be other factors to that. But hopefully you guys got some stuff, especially from the other series in this one. Massive congrats to G2, of course, for winning this major. Very happy to see an NA team win, even though they are our kind of rivals. It is good to see them get that major win. So massive congrats to them. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the major. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.